Good afternoon, all my dear students. Again, we are discussing the same topic here, chapter number 2. This is my lecture number 2 for the class 8, and we are discussing here metals and non-metals. In my last lecture, I have discussed so many things about metals and non-metals. Again, we will continue with the same. And right now, see, this is the comparison we will discuss today. First thing we will discuss today, that is the comparison between metals and non-metals, and we will discuss all the physical properties that we have discussed so far in my last lecture. One by one, it is a summary. It is a summary so that you will remember it in form of the keywords. For example, metals and non-metals. Generally, this is the basic question which is asked in the board exam. Write 3-4 differences in between metals and non-metals in terms of the physical properties. So see, first, all the metals, they are hard in nature. All the metals, they are hard in nature. And what about the non-metals? All the non-metals, generally they are soft in nature. Number 2, all the metals, they are generally found in the, here I have written solid, means their physical state is solid. They are found in the solid state. What about the non-metals? Non-metals, they are found in the solid, liquid and gaseous, in all the 3 states. Number 3 is the ductile. Ductile I have told you earlier, so no need to discuss here. All the metals, generally they are ductile in nature. They can be converted into the thin wires. What about the non-metals? They are non-ductile. All the non-metals are non-ductile because they are somewhere they are found in the liquid and gaseous state also. Next is all the metals, they are the malleable. All the metals are malleable in nature, means they can be converted into the thin sheet form. What about the non-metals? Non-metals are non-malleable. Same thing, they cannot be converted into the thin sheet form. All the metals are good conductor of heat also, good conductor of electricity also, means they allow the electric current, and that's why generally they are used for making the electrical switches and wires. What about the non-metals? Non-metals are the generally bad conductor of heat also, bad conductor of electricity also. All the metals, they are sonorous. What is the meaning by sonorous? Sonorous means they have ability to produce sound when they are hit with the hard object. Means all the metals, they are sonorous. All the non-metals, they are non-sonorous. Again same thing. All the metals, their density is high. They have the high density as compared to the water. And that's why when suppose you are taking one experiment and you have taken one of the iron object and you are dipping it inside the water, so you will find that all the iron objects, all the metal objects, immediately they will sink at the bottom of the water. Meaning is that all the metals, they have the higher density as compared to the water. What about the non-metals? They have the low density as compared to the water. Next thing is high melting and boiling point. All the metals, because they are hard in nature, they are found in the solid state, and that's why they are very much rigid, and that's why they have the high melting and boiling point. All the metals have high melting and boiling point. What about the non-metals? All the non-metals, they have the low melting and boiling point, just the opposite. Whatever, if we have remembered one, so just we have to go for the opposite. So we will prepare for the non-metal also. See, next property is the lustrous. What do you mean by lustrous? All the metals are lustrous in nature. Lustrous means they have the shining surface. Okay. What about the non-metals? Non-metals are non-lustrous in nature. Their surface is not shiny, you can say. They have the rough surface, you can say. So all the metals are lustrous. Non-metals are non-lustrous. What about example? Some of the example we have to always remember. Sometimes only the example is asked. So there are so many examples of the metal generally we are using in our daily life, like iron, like aluminium, like copper, like gold, like silver, like zinc. So many others are also there. What about the non-metals? 2-3 examples we have to remember. So non-metals are generally found in the gaseous state. So we said at least we can remember some gas like hydrogen, oxygen, like carbon, like sulfur, like iodine, like graphite. Here I have written 2-3, you can see. Okay, so this is all about the physical properties, and right now the turns come for the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Chemical properties means what? when we are talking about the chemical properties, actually we come to the chemical reaction. Means one element will be there, it will react with the another element, and when one element react with the another element, so they make what? They make the new compound. They make the new compound. So what this is known as the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So one by one we will discuss about these 3 points. First point is the reaction with oxygen. How the metals react with the oxygen, how the non-metals react with the oxygen, what kind of the compound they form, what is the nature of that particular compound, that all we have to see. Second is the reaction with water. How the metals react with the water, how the non-metals react with the water, and which kind of the gases evolve. So many things we have to see. And third is the reaction with the acid. So this is our main chemistry things that we have to discuss, and these are the things which we will use in the earlier classes also. So this is the main thing we have to discuss here. So I am rubbing the board, and one by one we are going to discuss about the chemical properties. Our first is the reaction of metal with the oxygen. Okay, see, reaction of metals with oxygen. 1, 2, 3. Why I have written here 1, 2, 3? Because we will see the 3 chemical reaction. First, reaction of metals with the oxygen. So first is the category of highly reactive metals. There are so many highly reactive metals like sodium, like potassium, and they react at a room temperature. So if I will take the example, when the sodium react with the oxygen, this is what? This is sodium. This is the chemical symbol of sodium that we are knowing already. If you are not knowing, you should remember it. Na. Na is the symbol for sodium. What is sodium? Sodium is a element. Sodium is a metal and very highly reactive metal. Very highly reactive means generally it is kept under the kerosene oil. Why? Because when it comes in contact with the air, it reacts immediately. It reacts and it catches fire also. So when the sodium react with the oxygen, so what they form? They form the metallic oxide. They form the metallic oxide. So what is the metal here? Sodium. So what will be the product here? Sodium oxide. Sodium oxide. So see, Na plus O2, that we have to remember Na2O. Right now we are not concentrating on the balancing of the equation. Only the matter is that when the metal react with the oxygen, when the sodium react with the oxygen, so what is the new product? Sodium oxide. And what kind of the reaction it is? It is a very highly, and actually it is a vigorous reaction. Is very much vigorous. Vigorous means very much powerful, filled with the energy. Why? Because in this reaction it catches fire. It produces large amount of heat and gases. Okay, it also produces some kind of the hissing sound. Why? Because sodium is a highly reactive metal. Okay, next thing we will discuss about the magnesium. Magnesium is also a metal. When the magnesium react with the oxygen, here I am going to write down magnesium. This is the symbol for magnesium. So when the magnesium react with the oxygen, so what will be the product here? Already you are knowing. Same like that, sodium oxide. Here will be the magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. And what is the formula of magnesium oxide? MgO. So very easy. When the metals react with the oxygen, so they form their metallic oxide, and this is for the highly reactive metal. There are so many highly reactive metals which directly react with the oxygen without giving any external heat. But what is here? Here we have to apply some heat. Here I can write down heat. Means we have to give some extra heat, then only the oxygen react with the oxygen. And this also we will see in form of the activity. Actually magnesium, when we are burning the what is this the reaction? reaction with the oxygen, actually it is a burning reaction. Reaction with the oxygen, it is a burning. Burning means burn with the help of oxygen. This is the supporter for combustion. So whenever any of the metal reacting with the oxygen, meaning is that it is a burning reaction. So when the magnesium burns in presence of the oxygen, so how it burns? It burns by producing the dazzling light, that I will discuss later on. Dazzling light means very shining light will come out. Next is the thing, there are so many hard metals like iron. Here I am taking the example of iron. Iron is what? Iron is a very hard metal. So generally it never react with the oxygen. But what we have to do? We have to give the prolonged heating. Prolonged heating means we have to apply the heat for the longer duration. Then only the iron react with the oxygen. Why? Because iron is a very hard metal. And what is the product here? Again we are knowing that it is a